Hi everyone, this is Alan Rosinski of Metro Manhattan Office Space. Good afternoon. The online trading app Robinhood is reportedly looking for office space in New York City. They're looking to lease 50 to 60,000 square feet of office space in New York City. An interesting question as to where they will ultimately locate. Is it going to be the financial district near the exchanges or another part of town? Now, as you all probably know, Robinhood is somewhat controversial. They've been in the news. They offer a very innovative trading application which is extremely streamlined and easy to use. It's almost Amazon-like in its simplicity with many innovative features. To give you an example, they allow investors to have fractional ownerships in a stock. So let's say you're just starting off in investing, you have a few $1,000s saved away, and you want to buy a fraction of a stock of Tesla, which is trading at $700. You can invest in Tesla and buy for $70, 10% of a share. It's kind of a nice feature. You can see why it would be appealing. Now, Robinhood has grown enormously. I think they have more than 13 million users of the application. On a recent day, there were 600,000 downloads. Many of their users tend to be younger, starting out, and the mission of the company is to make stock market investing accessible to the general public, to democratize investing. And it's, there's a real upside to it. I think there's a risk too, because investing in the stock market isn't playing a video game. You can get these young people who are starting out, who invest all their savings in very, very sophisticated financial instruments, puts, calls, options. I find it in a way almost there's a sad element to it, because these young investors could buy quality stocks, hold them for 30, 40 years, and they'd be in a great position, because the stock market over decades, over the long term, I think tends to appreciate. I don't know what the historic number is, but I think it's something like 8, 9, 10% a year. So somebody starting off at 30, by the time they're 65, if they buy good companies, is going to be in terrific shape. But there'll be some young investors who'll buy options, they'll lose, and they'll learn a lesson from it. So I guess that's a good thing also. Many of you probably heard the trading in certain stocks was blocked by Robinhood recently, end of January, in stocks like GameStop, and this enraged their users, and a lot of them really wrote very negative reviews on Google, and I think Robinhood's rating went down from 4 or 5 stars to 1 star. People just were very upset by it. Understandably. The minimum you would expect from any stock trading application is the ability to execute orders. Now, there were certain conspiracy theories as to why Robinhood halted trading in stocks like GameStop and I believe AMC, but it was probably something as simple as capital requirements, because the volume of trading in these stocks just exploded over those few days. But in terms of real estate, wherever they go, if they're executing trades in their new location, a certain amount of redundancy in the infrastructure, in the internet connection, energy, backup generators, multiple internet providers is going to be very critical. Because for any financial services firm engaged in trading, that trading can never, ever be interrupted. We see the controversy which occurred in January with the halt in trading on certain stocks in Robinhood. So that normally can't occur, and it really goes into the selection of a space. Any trading firm is going to need excellent infrastructure and a high level of redundancy. Now, in terms of Robinhood's location in Manhattan, where they're actually going to end up is going to depend on whether they're using the space for trading or whether they're going to be using the space predominantly for administrative purposes, in which case they would probably have a wider selection, could choose a wider geography and different types of buildings. Another factor might be whether Robinhood intends to be involved in high-frequency trading. If they do, they would probably want a location which are close to the major stock exchanges in the financial district. Now, Robinhood's timing is excellent. If they had made a move into Manhattan a year ago, I think they would pay probably $10 a square foot more than they're going to end up paying now. So let's say they lease 50,000 square feet of office space for 10 years they're going to save $5 million. That same space would have cost $5 million 1 year before. So, I mean, timing is really, really critical, and they'll probably receive certain concessions in terms of a build-out, free rent, that they would not have received 1 year ago. Now, a company like Robinhood may end up on Wall Street. Maybe they'll go to a building like One World Trade Center, which has large floor plates. They could even end up, if proximity to the exchanges is not important, they could end up in Hudson Yards, or maybe they could even end up at One Vanderbilt near Grand Central, because not all financial services firms are located in Lower Manhattan. But this is overall a favorable sign for New York City that despite the disruption caused by the pandemic, Manhattan is still able to draw national tenants. And hopefully this trend is the start of something and will continue into the future. If you found this content interesting or helpful, I'd be happy if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can always find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @Metro Manhattan. Until the next time.